by Coco's. We're going over 1, 2, 3, 4 Zykel and Michelin Coco's by YeahBuddy compared to 1, 2, 3, 4 by Rough Justice, also bringing a flame, 2 flames, and a cannon. A lot of specialty being brought out by Rough Justice. Also, the Doppel Cylinders by YeahBuddy. So a lot of specials being brought out here. Again, we have the Helot Auxiliary, but it's level 13 Helot Auxiliary. It doesn't matter what level it is, as long as they have the Doctrine for the movement speed, damage reduction. Who cares? But hopefully, YeahBuddy uses the Helot Auxiliary this time to get that movement speed and the damage reduction to, if the Rough Justice is defending their front point, be able to really walk up those stairs quickly. So we go into, oh, I have my Q&E. Already starting out with a 300 unit difference. Rough Justice is bringing a lot of greens, doing the purple-green method of unit comps compared to YeahBuddy doing a little bit more balanced of a composition. Oh. Scorpio's not getting anything, unfortunate. At least I don't think they did. Yeah, everything's still full health, everything's still okay, nothing really lost there. Starting Arnie didn't find anything of value. As we go in, that's the way Rough Justice is immediately going back to C. Though it does look like they have basically all their units back at C. I'd be very surprised if Rough Justice defends A, B here. As usually competitively, I don't think that's ever seen. It does look like that we have a little bit of a skirmish happening there, but the Chain Dart will not be able to find the musket. It is now Rough Justice walks back to C. Hopefully not losing any units in the process here. They did lose some of their Rattan round shields, maybe losing a Rattan pike as well. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be catching it. Okay, so they do catch some of the rat pikes, some of the round shields. Treb comes in, hits even more of the rat pikes. Rough Justice is losing some units before the fighting even begins. I hate to see it. A little bit of out positions here. They're just keeping their units in the fighting zone when they really don't need to be keeping them. Unfortunate for Rough Justice, you know, already down basically half a unit of rat pikes and down in exactly half a unit of Rattan round shields. As now we wait. Does look like Rough Justice is going to be defending behind C. Instead of in front of it, judging by how their composition works. But I don't think that will be the greatest of places. I don't know really where they're going. They could go front of C, they go back of C. Let's get a little bit more of an angle here. So we wait for YeahBuddy to get that C assault. 15 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time to do whatever they want on the match here. Haven't broken C breach yet. I guess our bombard players maybe don't know how to hit the C breach. I know I don't know how to hit the C breach. I have to hit it with the culverins instead because I am a bot and don't know how to do it. I know someone out there knows how to hit that C breach with a bombard. Looks like they're still trying, but we haven't hit that breach yet. So it'll be a little bit rough here. Maybe Rough Justice is baiting YeahBuddy to come up the stairs and then going to meet them on the front of C. It is definitely a play to be had. I'm going to just look at Trebs. And there's all there. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 9 Trebs on this map. Sheesh. As we just go into this artillery phase, nothing's really happening here. Not really to talk about. This map has a very long time for things to happen. So look at units have gone down. I guess YeahBuddy is just waiting for Rough Justice to run out of artillery shots. I'm a little confused as to why Rough Justice is using their artillery shots early here. It does look like they do connect with that IPG unit, but it is IPG, so none of them will go down there. This does seem a little bit weird from Rough Justice to waste all their artillery shots before the fighting even starts. Does look like YeahBuddy is getting a 1 mortar in response, maybe a little bit annoyed by the triple mortar firing into them and not wanting to deal with it anymore. We do have a short sword over there. Let me increase minimap size so everyone can see that, because anything happens. YeahBuddy going into the tunnels. If there's any fighting that happens in the tunnels, I will not catch it because I'm not going into the tunnels. Once again, we still haven't broken Sea Breach, and we've spent now 2 minutes kind of waiting. YeahBuddy's only placed 2 artillery, and they're now placing a little bit more artillery to deal with Rough Justice here. Realizing that Rough Justice has now ran out of artillery shots to be able to bomb down on them. Do peek a little bit forward here. Double ISG, so a very healthy tanky front line there. Deal with the... It does look like Rough Justice is going to be giving C. Definitely interesting play here. Realizing that the Sea Breach is still up, so they don't want... Sea Breach is still up, so they realize that it's up, so we don't need to defend in front of C. We're going to have YeahBuddy waste the artillery and the trebs to break the Sea Breach there. It does look like maybe what a... Oh, good catch by Rough Justice. Having that maul grab, it does get Winkrow out of the fight. Treb coming into the... Oh, it does look like YeahBuddy. Rough Justice is actually fighting out on the point. Amazing Treb coming in, but the Hussar charge was straight through as well as the fight rages on. Rough Justice actually coming, extending out of the fight, trying to get some value. Yanya Dows into the back of YeahBuddy. Does not look like they actually released a load. Flames getting insane value as well as Rough Justice peeks out of the fight. I just did not expect this from Rough Justice coming out and getting the value there. Looks like the flames are getting dove by the short sword, but the Treb comes in, does not look like it connects. Does get most of the flames. We're down to 3 models of flames remaining. And Rough Justice doing a really good sally out, baiting YeahBuddy into the C point, going back in, and now we're going home. A weird play by Rough Justice here. I guess they just didn't want to defend the back of C. Definitely an interesting play. I just wasn't expecting this. I mean, the Sea Breach hasn't gone down. They could very easily defend this small gateway from YeahBuddy advancing in, but I guess Rough Justice deciding instead of defending behind C, instead just goes to home. 13 minutes on the clock. YeahBuddy doesn't really have the artillery, I guess, to do any more sieging, but definitely an interesting play by Rough Justice here. I'm a little confused here because with Sea Breach still up, I feel like it would have been better for Rough Justice to defend behind C. They had the supply, you know, they had the supply right there, and yeah, it's like fairly easy to supply block. You have the units, like you had an Orochi, you just have the Orochi sit on the supply and kill anybody. Do we have a chain dart on with Rough Justice? We have a dual blade, so we have a dual blade with the Orochi, so really the dual blade could have kept the supply open, but I guess Rough Justice deciding they did not want to defend behind C. Definitely an interesting play here by Rough Justice as we go into this home engagement. Doesn't look like YeahBuddy will be starting out. Oh, YeahBuddy be spending the time sitting here. We do have a culverin really far forward. Maybe hopefully baiting someone to walk forward into this, but they do have the musket players to be able to bomb it as well. Cannon being placed by the dual blade. Quite a few artillery being placed. It does look like we have a treb going in on the culverin back there, as YeahBuddy now comes into this fight here as we go into our engagement. Fight goes in, flames come out. Unfortunately, the short sword will dive them, but the short sword does not do enough damage to kill the flames, and now the flames are going to be able to free fire in. Nobody else is diving the flames. We have free firing cannons as well as do double short sword now going into the cannons and the flames. The cannons getting 1-2 shots off, and now they will be actually, no, it looks like some of them are still alive there as cannons now have to rebuild. The flames look like they have gone out as well, but the Maul tries to get in and do the damage. Unfortunately, the Maul goes down as well. Yeah, but he does not have the units to really continue this push. It looks like they're trying to go through the small gate, but we have a stalwart and an Orochi guarding. Good Orochi stab doesn't catch most of them, but will go down to the remaining of their Kudalier charge, I believe that was. We have lost most of our cannons and flames. Now, everybody has to regroup. Amazing defense by Rough Justice there. Baiting with a specialty maybe to get the heroes to get out of position and cleaning them up fairly well. Let's go into how unit deaths, hero deaths are. We have 1 person, 2, 3, 4 people on YeahBuddy on their last life, while Rough Justice, only 2 people have died on Rough Justice, and they've only died once. Amazing defense by Rough Justice there, doing insane value. I just didn't expect the home defense to work that well, but they just were able to pull it off so well. It's surprising for me. As we go into now 10 minutes remaining as our secondary push here, 752 to 1298 units. It's going to be very hard for YeahBuddy to claw their way back into this game. Down 500 units is pretty oppressive there. It's basically an entire push, and see how YeahBuddy is able to deal with how this goes. Trev comes in, does hit some of the stalwarts there, but she actually hits most of the stalwarts there as our engagement comes onto it. YeahBuddy immediately swarming on the point. Looks like we have the dagger axe, not dagger axe, those are either yeoman or cooliers, go straight through YeahBuddy as Rough Justice now tries to reclaim the space that they gave. Doing a little bit of good groundwork, good control, reclaiming space, going into the left flank of YeahBuddy, maybe even able to get behind them. It does look like they're keeping some units on this small gate there, but they will now rotate over to deal with the ISG. Another Kudalier charge goes in, but there is nothing really for them to connect with. Going a little bit too far left there. Cataphract, the Lancers going through the small gate. Rough Justice looking fairly low on units here. YeahBuddy getting a lot of steam. Another Kudalier charge goes straight down the line. Another one straight down the line going through the Fort of Brascio, through the Zycalian Militia, through everything there. YeahBuddy running out of units down to 340. And also down, looking when it looked rough for Rough Justice, they just sent the cav spam through the middle of the map and it just cleaned up all of YeahBuddy's units. YeahBuddy still having some units there to be able to recover the situation, but now they're done. Now they don't really have anything there, trying to claw their way back the space. Kudalier's coming through the point, able to claim back some space on the small gate, but now Rough Justice has a stalwart there at the small gate, able to hold off any advance in. It's just the Wuxing and the Demence Arbalist trying to get some damage into the stalwarts, but the stalwarts will hold fast. Not able to go down very hard as the Rat Pikes, they do hold long enough for the rest of Rough Justice to be able to reinforce the fight and push YeahBuddy back out of the gate. As YeahBuddy goes down to 80 units. And that will most likely be it for YeahBuddy. That is going to be 2-0. Rough Justice in the lead here. YeahBuddy on the back foot when YeahBuddy was predicted to win by the community in this matchup. So YeahBuddy has to do some has to win their next 2 matchups here. on Allenberg and Border for Redux. Basically showing by Rough Justice here, able to really prove me wrong here. I thought that our comp would have been better at that behind C hold, but they apparently just practiced and scrimmed it enough to be able to hold home with really no worries. It did look a little sketchy there at one point, but proving that actually everything was okay and there was nothing to worry about. Oh, looks like we have a little bit of remaining cooliers. They will catch the Orochi. So I go in. Units remaining. Rough Justice having the greed. Rough Justice favoring. This is why now YeahBuddy was the one to ban Phalanx and Modal. And it looks like the Phalanx and Modal ban is actually turning out to be in favor for Rough Justice rather than in favor of YeahBuddy. It seems like YeahBuddy just doesn't know how to play with their gold anti-cav out of the game. Just kind of getting ran over by cav. It looked like just they took the space, they got the space, but the cav was able to just kind of roll over them, not having that, you know, the Modal units to be able to stop the Coutelier charge is incredibly rough. And again, this was a YeahBuddy saving Coutelier, so Rough Justice really playing into YeahBuddy's bans and saves. Incredibly well, as we hopefully YeahBuddy now leaves the match so I can get into the goddamn post battle. This guy needs to get out. Thank you. Let's go to our post battle stats here. You see YeahBuddy a lot on 3 deaths where Rough Justice, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people died in the match. Just by that alone, Rough Justice just kept their heroes alive the entire fight. Nobody died, and that really helped them with the double pulling and all that. As we go into stats for nerds, here's YeahBuddy stats. If you like stats, look at these stats. Wow. I know I love stats. Damn. $48K from our Glaive player. Unfortunate there. We go back into those stats and stats for nerds. MVP black 150. I don't know, maybe it's Don Salvador. Who knows? Oh, that's a short sword. Oh, 28K. Let's go, 28K from our glaive. But they were doing double unit pulls and probably buffing and worried more about positioning, so that's okay. Still got out damaged by a short sword. Charts. YeahBuddy is red. You can see in all these engagements here, it wasn't that different of spikes. Right, it's not that different of spikes. Now there is quite a bit of spikes here. You can tell it is quite a big difference here, maybe like 150 unit kill difference. But you can see by the deaths. I mean, hero kills, the deaths just so different there. Red. Yeah, they just lost.